we have gathered here today to speak about Facebook advertising. Who in here is currently marketing themselves on Facebook? Okay, 4, 5 maybe, sort of, somewhat. I've heard some horror stories in the past. So we're here to talk some basics, go into a little bit more details, and try and give you guys some ideas. Granted, we're not going to give you everything in detail, what picture to post, when to post it, what to say, etc. Otherwise, we'd have 40 replications of exactly the same page. So the idea is take this information, make it yours, make it original, and go apply that. Okay? But only apply it if you're going to continue to do so, not if you're going to do it once. Okay? Quick announcement. Going forward for these webinars, for these trainings, we will have one of those nice talk show host microphones for the audience for when you ask your questions, so we don't have to repeat them. The people at home can hear it, and you guys won't have to listen to me repeat the question and explain what it was. So quick tidbit there. Beyond that, let's get back into Facebook, okay? Let's start. First off with some basics. What are the different methods that you can use on Facebook to actually advertise itself? Anybody know? The different manners of advertising on Facebook. Maybe I'm asking the wrong question, okay? There's 2 ways to advertise yourself in a paid capacity on Facebook. There's boosted posts, and there are actual advertisements. Does anyone know what the difference between the 2 are? Dave.
One is actually kind of an express. The boosted post is kind of an express version. It's nice and easy. If you use the ad manager, it allows you to tailor things a little more.
Perfect explanation. A boosted post is a basic way to increase the reach of your actual posting on Facebook. So by just posting on your page, you're not automatically reaching all of the followers on your page. You only reach what they say is about 1% of your followers. You're only going to appear in about 1% of the news feeds. However, if you're boosting your post, you're going out to everyone that you have. You are paying for it, but you're going out to everyone. It's increasing your reach, okay? This is typically used when you want to increase comments, interaction with your followers, likes, shares, things like that, okay? It's not just to put it in front of them, it's because you want to keep appearing so someone is more inclined to like, comment, respond, repost, share, etc. Okay? Paid advertisements are more complicated. They're more advanced and they give you more customization itself. You manage those through Facebook's ad manager. You create there, you can create multiple ads at the exact same time, replicating and just changing your target audience, changing a couple words. It is much more customizable. And that's really what I want to go into today. Boosting posts is very simple. You post on your page, you hit boost, you're done. You set your budget, then you're done. With an advertisement, there's a lot more that goes into it, which allows you to specify who you want to reach. And they don't have to be followers of your page. They don't have to be people that are connections of a connection of a connection. A paid advertisement allows you to target members of the public based on who they are, where they're located, how much they earn, what they're interested in, other pages that they follow. It's super detailed, okay? But one thing I do want to make sure you pay attention to is do not confirm your advertisement until you've seen the budget. If you have not seen the budget, you will have a bad experience. You just think, oh, well, they didn't ask me, I'll figure it out later. Granted, $1,000 later, okay? Adriana. When you're boosting, not as detailed as ads, you're targeting connections of connections. So it's not really, you're not saying, let's say you want to generate sellers when you're boosting a post, okay? You're going to boost it, it's really just gonna go up there in front of any connection and then downlines, okay? On an advertisement, you can say, people exhibiting behaviors likely to sell or own a home more than 5 years, or in this zip code or within 10 miles of this point of interest. You can get really geographically oriented to the neighborhood that you're trying to target or the city you're trying to target. You could target people that follow Zillow. You can target people that follow Realtor.com and people that have visited those sites as well. Facebook is extremely intrusive, extremely, okay? So before we get into that, we're going to go through and actually post an advertisement. I want you to all see exactly what it looks like so you're not intimidated to go in there, okay? But very quickly in outline, these are the steps that you would take in order to complete an advertisement on Facebook. Number one, we're going to choose our objective, be in our mindset of what we want to do. And our objectives are what's on the bottom right here. What are we trying to do? We're trying to get increased brand awareness, local awareness in our geographic area, increase our reach of the page. Great. These are for conversions. More traffic to our page, more engagement with our social media outlets, installs of an application, which I don't think anyone in here has, more views of a video that you're posting, or to generate contacts or leads. On the right side, we have actual purchases, visits, store visits, things like that. It's more e-commerce related. What you're going to primarily be going for is stuff in the middle here, okay? For them to visit your page and consider more. So engagement, traffic, and lead generation are primarily going to be what we're doing when we're speaking in real estate, okay? For those of you who were at our social media class this month, what was our objective when we're advertising or posting on social media? What's our objective? What's your objective when you're advertising? Leads. The name of the game is leads. Yes, branding, great, but you're going to brand yourself over the other 150,000 realtors. You're fighting a big fight there. You're trying to generate contacts. You're trying to generate leads so that you, as the realtor, can build a relationship with them and convert them into a transaction. So we want to go with the middle. We want traffic to our website. Okay? When we create traffic, where are we sending them? To our website, yes, but where on our website? A landing page. Thank you, Adriana. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Okay, yes, to a landing page, because when they get to the landing page, it's speaking directly to what they clicked on, okay? And it's capturing their information. There's nowhere else to go. Okay, you clicked on placing a value on your home, getting a valuation on your property. Great, you clicked on this link. It took you to a page that's offering you a free valuation. All I need is your name, phone number, email, address, blood type, name of your firstborn, and a social security number. Just kidding. What's up, Chad?
I'm gonna add something real fast to kind of drive that point home. For you guys, like, have you ever been on Facebook or been on the internet and you see something, you see an ad in front of you of something that you like and that you want, and you click on it, and then it takes you someplace else? Where you, so let's say you see a purse that you like, you click on the purse, and then it brings you to their website, and you have no idea what the purse is. And then you lose interest and you leave.
Gone.
Gone. So don't do that. Right? So if you put a call to action on your ad, make sure that what Jonathan's saying is when you click on it, it should bring you right to where they can do exactly what you just said, not to your website. They'll leave. So I just want to kind of drive it home for what happens to you guys personally, so you know how that feels.
Great point. Great point.
What is the moment to capture the information? Before or after?
The moment to capture is right when they click. You should bring them right to where, whatever, give me your name and your email address and whatever. Or there's other things that can do that for you automatically from Facebook if you have that integrated in there. But you put your name, your email, and you give them whatever they were asking for.
So the point that Chad's trying to make is if you're going to post something that's specific to a service or a magnet that we discussed before, a magnet, and it takes them to your website. If they're going to the homepage of your website, they're going to close it. They're going to bounce. They don't want to have to search and find the point that dragged them there, that brought them there, within the confines of your website. So don't send it to your homepage. Create a landing page. Create a contact page. If you don't know how to do it, ask the person who hosts your website. It's not very complicated. Okay? Every website service should be able to tell you how to do that. If they don't include it, you need to change and find a different website. Go ahead, Joseph.
Statistically, what kind of, are there any statistics that show what kind of return you're getting on that and what it costs?
Are there any statistics showing what your return is on your investment for the advertisement itself? Yes?
Like how many people have actually turned those into actual?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We'll get into that further when we go actually post the advertisement. But the ad manager for Facebook, what it does is it allows you to create them and monitor them. It will tell you how many times it appeared, how many times it was clicked on, and then you can install a code from Facebook onto your website that states, it's called a pixel, okay? That whenever this action happens, it registers that as a conversion on your ad manager in Facebook. So if anyone's used Google Analytics before, it works very similarly to that. Okay? It will tell you performance, what your spend is, how much your average cost per click is, and how many conversions have come through that. Depends what your objective is. If your objective is a contact, it will be the action on your website of clicking the contact form, submitting the contact form. If it's about going to the search page or just going through, that's different. Whatever you want your outcome to be. For example, an e-commerce store, not a supermarket, like a clothing store, for example, their conversion is actually purchasing something, okay? For us, it would most likely be a lead, a contact, okay? So again, driving that point home from Chad, if you're going to advertise something, don't just advertise your service on Facebook. It's not going to be successful. Be a little bit more creative. The one that I'm going to post today is about buying versus renting, catering to first-time home buyers, okay? It's comparing why you should buy instead of renting because the rental market is so elevated and there's so many programs out there for first-time home buyers. Call the Close With Us team, right, Chad? Okay. So, and what I'm going to take them to is not the landing page on my website, it's not the search page on my website, it's not the contact form on my website. It's a page dedicated to why someone should buy instead of continuing to rent. It's the American dream. Everybody wants to own a home. Let's help them get there. I know a good realtor. Okay, so back to our steps. Choosing our objective. We saw our list of objectives, and we're going to name it something so that we are familiar when we look at our ad manager, that we know what it is. For example, if you're catering to renters that are looking to buy, I'll put first-time home buyers and the specific area I'm targeting. So for example, first-time buyers, Broward County, 20 to 40 years old. That'll be one of my names, okay? And we'll go into the next step, which is creating the ad set. Where we want it to go, who we want to show it in front of, where it's going to be placed, and how much we want to spend. Okay? Let's go in there. Let's go into the book. Okay? Does everybody have a Facebook business page? Fred, come on, man. Does everybody have a Facebook business page? Who doesn't? Who doesn't have a Facebook business page currently? No? Kessler? Okay. When you go in to create your Facebook business page, do not call it the K Company Realty. Please. Tired of correcting this. If you go in and you create a Facebook business page, create it as your name, comma, realtor, dash the K Company Realty. Okay? Otherwise, I will be banging down your door.
If you have your own LLC and you're also an investor, you gotta do that separate.
Correct. Because your LLC is not licensed. So yes,
Facebook, we do have to have a business page, right?
in order to advertise on Facebook, yes.
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 So we have to do everything.
Now, not necessarily, okay? You don't have to set up and make your business page beautiful. You don't have to have a ton of content on there. In fact, the advertisements that you post don't even have to show up on your business page. They don't have to be a post that you're then advertising. It can be a complete advertisement that doesn't show with your network.
No, what I mean is, do I do it on my personal site?
No, business.
My business site?
Yes. You will manage it through your personal access. That's how you'll manage everything. Your business page, your personal page, and the advertisements. That will all be managed through one account. However, your posting, you want to link back not to your personal self, to your business page. Okay? If you saw Betty Mendez posting an advertisement for real estate and you click through and it goes to her personal page about her walking her dog and getting her hair done, would you be inclined to use her or give her a call about her professional opinion? Or would you call her if it went to her business page where she talks about a listing or an open house or going out and seeing a new development, something like that? I would call Betty Mendez the professional instead of Betty Mendez the dog walker.
Yeah, I'm also wondering about the way that Facebook see the advertising system. Do they allow professionals to work on the personal side?
Yes. No, I'm sorry, professionals to work on the personal side?
Yeah, on the personal
What do you
side
mean?
of the Facebook.
I don't understand what you mean by that.
I mean, if you're in
Do they allow a company to manage your personal Facebook?
a company, you're like a professional. So can you do business on your personal side without having a professional page?
Yes, but I don't recommend it. You're talking about posting professional items, articles, social media postings on your personal page as opposed to a business page.
Right.
Why would you do that?
Well, that's my question. What's you tell me that if people want to post something, you should post something in a professional way. My question is, as a realtor, do we have to post on always, when I say always, on the professional Facebook webpage?
Your question is, as a realtor, do we always have to post on our business page as opposed to our personal page? Is that your question?
Right. Right, yes.
Yes? No, you don't. Okay? The recommendation is to have a separate personal and a separate business page. Okay? When you are going to post something or advertise, it is recommended that you post all of that on your business page when it has to do with business. Okay? In addition to that, I would take that same post and put it on your personal. Okay? So they cross one way but not the other. If it's professional, post from your business to your personal. Okay? That will increase traffic by clicking on that. It goes to your business page. Okay? So the idea is using your personal sphere of people to increase your outreach with your business page. Okay? But those that don't click through, you're still capturing by posting that professional or work-related posting on your personal page. But if you want to post something personal, it only goes on your personal. It doesn't go on your business page. So your personal should have both, and your business should have your business. Make sense? Got it. Okay, so we're currently logged into Facebook. Please don't look through my pictures. We're currently logged into Facebook. This is a business page. For example, I'm going to do an advertisement under the business. So the first step is in the top right corner, there is an arrow to drop down. Okay, this will show you all of the pages that you are able to manage, allow you to create additional pages, but we're going to skip all of that down to here where it says create ads and manage ads. Before I go in there, I will show you the ad manager. I hit manage ads. This takes me into the account manager. It shows me my user. Go in there, show me all the ads that I have posted, how they performed, clicks, content, etc., etc. This may take a moment. There we go. So it will give you a list of all the different campaigns that you've created. List of all the campaigns that you've created, the current status of them. As you can see, these are all archived. They're old, right? Results when they're active of how they went, how many people they reached, how much cost per click, how much you spent in total, and when it is scheduled to end. Got it? As we go down, I don't think I have any currently active. But there's so many different ways that you can do them. This also tracks your boosted posts, just in case you're curious about that. It will show you your results on your boosted posts, but not really about more in details on the audiences that you're going into, okay? So that is just where you go to see the statistics about your ad campaigns. Let's go back. I want to go directly into create ads, okay? That's how we're going to start a new one. Before I go in here, I want to kind of have a mentality of what I'm trying to do. So if you had to go on an advertisement right now, we're trying to generate leads. What's something that you can put out there, a magnet that you can put out there that's going to help drive traffic, create conversions, create contacts, and ultimately deals for you? Putting a listing out there. Okay, I would probably post that and boost the post because it's going to go out and only be interesting for those in that general vicinity. Yes. Any other ideas?
Does ListHub relate to Facebook?
Not at all. ListHub does not relate to Facebook.
Okay, and does the K Company website advertise any of the company's listings?
On Facebook, no. Okay. What could you advertise on here to draw someone to go to your website?
I listed a home buyer guide yesterday and got 3 leads out of it.
Thank you. A home buyer guide. Very good. Someone who's interested in buying a house and doesn't know what they're doing may be interested to read a home buyer guide. Great idea. So I'm going to create an image. Very simple. Google, royalty-free images. Ad Espresso, I mentioned about Facebook ads before. Okay? Go grab an image. Put some text on it, but limited text. Facebook has guidelines on how much text you can place on an image. No, it's gotten worse. Yeah, only 20% of the 20% of the real estate, no pun intended, of your image can be text. That is the ratio. And when you go and upload an image into Facebook, it will tell you if it passes or doesn't pass. If it does not pass, you're going to spend a lot of money and not reach anyone. It increases your cost per click and it decreases your exposure. So you want to limit the text. Part of an ad will include an image itself, an explanation. You have an open area to write whatever you want, and then a call to action. The call to action could be click to learn more, contact now, call now, see more, things like that. It's a button that's requesting some type of action. Okay? So we clicked on create ad, and I have a mentality. I want to use the buyer guide. Okay? I'm actually going to change it a little bit because I have a graphic already I just downloaded. I'm doing rent versus buy. I want to go after first-time home buyers in this case. So I'm trying to pique someone's interest that's currently renting or on the market to rent or set in 6 months to expire on their lease, and they're thinking, damn, I hate paying rent. I would like to buy a house instead, but I wish I could. I just can't. A lot of it is a matter of education where they don't know. Okay? So all of these people that we're going after have not bought houses before. They're currently renting, and we want to convert them. Okay? So our motivation of creating this ad is going to be what? Brand awareness? No. Reach? No. Traffic? Possibly. Traffic to the site itself. Engagement? Do we want them to comment, respond, like, share? Possibly. App installs? No, we don't have an application. Video views? I'm not using a video. Lead generation? Hit the nail on the head right there. So we're going to click lead generation. Okay? Moving down. It explains what it is. Contact lead generation from people interested in your business. People want to hear from you when they fill out your lead form. You can connect a CRM to get leads instantly, so it's easy to respond. So you can program this to a CRM program that you have so the leads go directly into there. Okay? The bottom is our name. We are doing, instead of lead generation, I'm going to call it First Time Home Buyers, Broward County, 20 to 40 years old. This is so in my ad manager, I can distinguish this from the list of 25 other ads that I'm going to be putting in. Our next step is what page do we want to connect it to? I would normally pick my own personal realty page, my business page that you've created on Facebook, right, Alex? In this case, I'm going to use the K Company Realty. Okay? Moving down, our next section is audience. Now, meanwhile, this entire time that we're going, you can see on the top right, this is our audience size. This is the number of people we are going to reach. Currently, our potential reach is 212 million people. Is that million or 1,000? Looks like million. Million. 212 million people. Could have been a decimal with 3 zeros. Okay? And currently, our daily results expect to be between 3,700 and 23,000, which equates to 11 to 72 leads a day. A day. Okay? Let's give our audience a name. Again, we're going to do Broward County, likely to buy, 20 to 40 years old. Okay? Yeah. My apologies. Create new custom audience. This is giving us different options. How do you want to create this audience? Are we going to upload a list of email addresses? Is it based on traffic from our Google Analytics, engagement from other people on Facebook, certain people that have downloaded an app? I can't read it. Create new. Create new. My apologies. We don't have to create new because we're not using one of their automated fills. We're just going to start using the parameters from below. So currently the location is defaulted to everywhere in the United States. But where do I really want to go into? Our local area. I named this Broward County. So I want to go into Broward County. Start typing Broward. It's going to give you some different options. Place, Broward County. Click that. It's going to show us what our reach is inside of Broward County. Meanwhile, I'm closing the United States off because I don't want to go to anyone outside. See, this is way too centralized. Doesn't have enough to it. So let's go out of there. We want to add a different one. We're going to include South Florida, for example. Should pull up a metropolitan area. Again, way too small. expand that radius. We'll go out 40 miles. Should give us much bigger of a reach. There we go, that's even too big. 20 miles. Honing in on it. If it's still too big, you can increase the size, decrease the size, or move around your point completely. For example, let's go up, and I'm going to drop it smack in Fort Lauderdale and increase my radius from there. Okay, I'm going to remove the other one so that all we have is Fort Lauderdale and the radius around it, the general area of Broward County. So you can see my reach has changed. We went from the millions and millions to 990,000, I believe. 990,000. Our estimated daily reach has changed down to 1,900 to 8,800. Estimated leads 3 to 19 a day. Okay. Moving down, we used our age parameters, 20 to 40. Remember, I'm going after first-time buyers. That is why I am reducing my age gap. Genders, all men, women, I'm going to stick with all. Languages, I at least want them to speak English. If you are a Spanish speaker, you can include Spanish. But my advertisement is going to be in English, so I want to use English. If it's in Portuguese, use Portuguese. Target your client. If your advertisement is going to be in English and you're targeting Portuguese speakers, it's not going to be a successful ad. So if you're written in Portuguese, target Portuguese. You want them to be able to understand and go through to that. Okay? Next, detailed targeting. This includes people who match at least one of the following. Now this is really kind of an open-ended section where you can include interests, pages they follow, job titles, things they're interested in, things like that. So I'm going to go someone who's interested in Zillow. Interest, not an employer. Somebody who's looked around at Zillow or followed something on Zillow's page. Realtor.com. Another interest. What would be another?
I was just going to say, like, once you type in one, it gives you suggestions.
Absolutely,
You just
good
go
point.
right down the list and add them all.
So you can see, since we added Realtor.com and Zillow, now we have Trulia, Homes.com, house hunting, buying a house. That's an interesting one. If you see on the right, they're broken down into categories. You have interest, behaviors. So likely to buy a house, meaning they're visiting pages and commenting and interacting with posts of pages and posts that are exhibiting behaviors that you're likely to move. Could be looking at moving companies, searching for moving companies. Remember, Facebook is integrated with Google. So incredibly intrusive. Okay? It's looking at what you search, what you visited, what YouTube videos you've watched, things like that. Okay? I want to go into even more details. You can see I've narrowed down to 110,000 in the top right corner. And we're at 3 to 18 a day on leads. Okay? First-time home buyer demographic. Look at that. It's already saved for me. Okay? I'm in Zillow because I'm getting straight to the demographic of first-time home buyers. Great. Thank you, Facebook. Okay? Moving down. Add a connection type. I don't want to do any of these adding connections because I don't need them to be connected to me through any type of channel, any pages, any apps, any events, nothing in order to satisfy the top. I want them to live in Broward County, be ages 20 to 40 years old, or first-time home buyer. Okay? Moving down.
I always exclude realtors, job titles.
You exclude realtors. Okay.
Just so their like pages don't pop up and so you see that.
Did you see the link that I just clicked down here, exclude people? Go back. On the bottom, under our detailed targeting, we have exclude people or narrowing our audience. It's a great point, Michelle, excluding people. So I'm going to exclude realtors as job titles. The difficult part with that is there are so many different job titles that realtors use: sales associate, broker associate, sales consultant, real estate investment consultant. There's so many, but realtor does kick the majority of them out.
If I may add to that, the last two listings have been sold to realtors. So everybody seems to have a license
Yes, that's for selling your listing, but what is our purpose of this advertisement? It's not to sell a specific listing.
Right, okay.
Our specific advertisement right here is to generate buyer leads.
But if some realtors from other states are looking for properties here,
They wouldn't pop up anyways because we zeroed in on Broward County
right,
if they live in another state. Trying to find people who live here, rent here, and are going to buy here. That's my target for this one. You know that any contact that you receive is a genuine, real person that applies to your business, period. Okay, if you're open to going to Orlando for that, open up to the state of Florida instead of Broward County. I'm just getting very specific with that so that I know my spend is worth its weight. Okay, that was a great recommendation, Michelle. Thank you. Placements. Okay, there's two different options as far as placements go. Placements mean where your ad will appear inside of Facebook. Will it appear in the news feed? Will it appear on the right side, the right column of the page? I've always left it to be automatic placements from Facebook, depending on where it's going to really attract buyers. If I leave it on the right side and it's not successful, I'm not spending any money. Remember, I'm paying per click. I'm not paying for when it appears. So if it appears on the right side and nobody clicks it, oh well. If it comes in the news feed and people click it there, great. But I'm giving myself the best opportunity on all fronts. Next section, important section, budget and schedule. Okay? This is where you'll set how much money you're going to spend and throw at this. Daily budget, weekly budget, entire campaign budget. It will either run each day if you do daily budget until that runs out, or the lifetime of the entire campaign. You can set to be whatever you see fit. I feel like $10 a day is a comfortable number. It will generate contacts for you, but it won't overload you, okay? Any more than $20 a day, I think you're gonna waste your time. Not necessarily your time in placing the ad, but you'll receive a lot more contacts than you can really take handle of, okay? So you really wanna make sure you're getting back to your leads in how much time? 2 minutes, 1 to 3. If it's longer than 3 minutes, you can just throw your dollar bill in the trash, okay? Schedule. You can either run your ad continuously starting today and just let it keep running and keep running and keep running and keep running, or you can preset that to automatically end at a certain date, start at a certain date, and end at a certain date and time, okay? I don't like leaving them open-ended. I'd like to start it, stop it, and restart it because you'll reach the same people over and over again. If they've clicked it, they're still going to see it. If they go back and they click it again, you're paying for them twice. I like to start and rotate them. Typically run it for 10 to 14 days, and then I'll shut it off and do something else. So let's say you have your buyer information package, your buyer guide, your home buyer guide. Have a few different media posts, a few different images that would go to that. Cycle 4 of them. Do 1 a week, for a month. And see which one results better. It's how you're going to compare yourself and be able to create more efficient advertising for the future. If you run 4 ads, 2 of them performed and 2 of them didn't, and they all had the same parameters otherwise, you know which 2 you want to focus on and which 2 you want to change out for something different. Okay, so in this case,
What does it cost per click when you say $10 a day?
it depends. It depends a lot on how many people are clicking, okay, which means your interaction, okay, how many are commenting, how many are closing it saying, hi, it doesn't apply to me. It has to do with that in addition to the amount of text on your image. If your image does not pass the Facebook specs, it will still go on there. It won't go as frequently, and each click will cost you more. And you're bidding. The different, I typically let Facebook bid automatically for me, as it will put me to reach my goal and hit my budget every day. Okay? If you customize that, you may not appear as much because you don't know what somebody else is bidding. Okay? You may not appear as much, and you may not reach your daily spend. My objective, when I go in here and I set my daily budget, I'm expecting to spend that every day, period. If I set $10 a day, I'm expecting to pay $10 a day, period. Facebook will do what they need to do to adjust you up and down and place you to use that budget because they want to collect the full $10 a day. Okay?
I didn't get the idea for bidding. I didn't get it right.
We're not there yet. We're not there yet. That's the next section. So we're setting our schedule. I'm going to set a certain start and end date. Today is the 25th, right?
Yes.
Great, thank you. And we're going to end that a week later, which would be the 2nd of May. Okay, I'm going to run this one for a week. Your ad will run for 7 days. You will spend no more than $70. $10 budget at the top times 7 days, $70 budget. Optimization for ad delivery. This is going to tell me what my goal is. Do I want just clicks through the link, or do I want to actually gain a lead? Do I want to just send them to the landing page, or do I want them to fill out the contact page on the lead? Contact page. So I'm going to leave it as leads. Bid amount. You can either select automatic and let Facebook adjust your bid up and down to reach your budget, increase your maximum quantity of leads that come through, or you can go on to manual and set whatever you are willing to spend on each one. You kind of, I won't do manual unless I have gone through and the statistics, looked at what the performance has been on previous ads, and tried to go along somewhat to that. So I'm not going to, let's say my ad campaign had an average spend of $2.29 a click, okay? For example, usually not that high. Facebook is usually about 25 to 45 cents a click, okay? So let's say it was $2.29, for example, okay? I go in there and I see that. I want to make sure that I'm not gonna spend $4 on a click that may be perceived as high value to Facebook, whereas in my book, I'm willing to spend what I'm willing to spend on each, and I don't care if I don't appear to that person. I'll go in and I'll set my max bid at $2.25. That means I'm paying $2.25 for every lead. High value or low value, I'm paying $2.25 across the board. I'd rather have Facebook automate that, and you'll see the performance of that ad is very good when you just leave it on automatic, okay? Don't overthink things.
John, one second. So is the click in addition to the $10?
No, the click is part of the $10 a day. And so let's say your cost per click is 25 cents, okay, and your budget's $10 a day. That equates to 40 clicks. So you'll receive 40 clicks a day. Yes?
When you say Facebook will manage it, basically you're giving them, you're figuring $70 for 7 days. And if some days are a little lighter, then they'll adjust it up to the next day?
No. It depends on how you select your budget. The question is, if you set your budget to be $70, in this case, and you're giving Facebook the right to automate your bid on your cost per click, will they adjust up or down if you don't reach your spend one day? No. If we set it in daily budget on the top to be $10 a day, they're going to spend $10 a day max. It's possible they spend less if there wasn't enough traffic to justify it. But if you would like to do something like that, you can do lifetime budget of $70, changing it to lifetime of 70 to have the same total spend. However, that could also be used in the first day. So by giving them the carte blanche to automate that, you are allowing them to spend as quickly as they can to give you that traffic. It may be in a day, it might be in 2 days, okay? That's why I like daily budget. I want to know my advertisement is going out there for a week, and I'm going to see traffic come through little by little, okay? Going back down. So in this case, when we are optimizing for ad delivery as leads, our charge rate is a little bit different. It's not by click, okay? I'm going to show you the other way in a second. When it's by leads, you're getting charged by impression, how when it appears, okay? See that? Now, if we changed leads to actually clicks, that changes, and we're being charged based on link clicks. So it's all about what our objective is. Are we trying to generate a contact, or do we have a landing page set on our website for them to go through and capture them? What's more efficient, being charged when you appear or being charged when someone clicks on you? Clicks, okay? In this case, only in this case, I would use link clicks because I'm taking them to the contact page on my site to capture them, and I will use link click as my charge rate. Make sense? Make sense? All right. Ad scheduling is the next option. As you can see, we're just going down the page, one by one, hitting each field.
So for the realtors, if you say that they have to get back to them in 1 to 3 minutes, do you suggest they put a start and end time per day?
Yes. Yes, that's a good point. Because I don't want someone going on in the middle of the night sending a contact form and I can't get back to them in 1 to 3 minutes. It depends on what you're posting. If it's rent versus buy, or a buyer information package, I'm going to leave it wide open because they're browsing, and quite frequently people in this demographic will browse in the middle of the night. So I don't want to prohibit them from clicking on my ad, especially given that a lot of phone browsing is when someone's laying in bed, excuse my language, using the restroom, bringing that up, the night shift, when they're bored, doing nothing else. If nobody clicks on it, I'm not spending anything. It was no harm, no foul. So I will let ads run all of the time, right here. That's on ad scheduling. If you want to modify that and only do something during the day, go to more options and you can do them based on a schedule or only work with your lifetime budget.
So just to clarify, when you're sending somebody to a landing page, you're saying use link clicks, not impressions.
Yes. If you're going to just do it, I mean, Facebook, when you're doing leads through here, Facebook gives you a contact form on Facebook. So for contact, it will capture their information there and send that to you. Okay? When you're doing link clicks like this and sending them to a landing page, that's ultimately where you want to get them. You're giving them a magnet on the ad itself, which clicks them through to your landing page, capturing them on the grand idea, which in my opinion should just be a larger version of that image that captures a little bit more of information. Fill this out for more details. Okay? So in this case, I'm going to run ads all the time. And delivery type. The recommended is for ads to show throughout the selected schedule, which is our 7 days that we had started at the top. It's going to continue to show them ongoing, okay, according to our budget. The other option would be an accelerated method, which shows it as much as possible to reach your goal as fast as possible. So you could have, for example, let's say your budget equates to 25 links a day. Facebook will show it non-stop until you hit those 25, okay? As opposed to scattering them throughout the day. I leave it standard. Whatever time somebody's browsing, I'm going to allow Facebook to optimize my ad and automate things, okay? Moving down, I'm going to save that ad set as what we used, Broward County, 20 to 40, first-time buyers. Continue. We on the same page? Next step, it's going to take us to what our ad actually looks like. There are 4 options. There's a carousel, which is essentially a set or strip of multiple photos or videos that are put together. I'm sure you've all seen this on Facebook, that just slide side to side, and you can scroll through and click on one that interests you. They all lead to the same place. Okay? Single image is pretty self-explanatory. It's a single image that is appearing as your ad. A single video or a slideshow. A slideshow is just a loop of the images that play like a video. As someone scrolls through their news feed, it will just automatically play, as does the single video. Everyone's seen a video on their Facebook feed. When you scroll through, it just starts playing with no sound, correct? Okay, like that, Rose. Okay, that'll start playing. So the right 2 will autoplay as the news feed. The left 2 are standstill images, static images. The carousel has multiple ones to click through, okay? In this case, I'm going to use a single image. Depending on what you're using, obviously pick the one that applies most. I don't believe that any one is more beneficial to the other, but depending on what your message is, try different ad sets with different settings. See what works for what you're trying to offer. Dave?
Just tried a new system where you actually place a couple of pictures in there, and automatically it'll create the 3 different ads. It'll run the ads on your single budget. Simultaneously. I was amazingly surprised at how one picture would do over the next picture, how much it would.
It's crazy how different it is, isn't it? Yeah, pictures definitely matter.
It was not really appealing to me, but the other 2 I thought were wonderful, and that one was by far triple everything else.
There's that's a great point. Yes, pictures definitely make a big difference. There's a company in California that does all of their lead generation through Facebook. I was reading their blog about how different it is, and they did a test when they first started. They had 2 pictures of 2 different homes. One of them was the picture of essentially the garage with the landscape going over the garage door, and the other one was inside of the kitchen, a very dramatic picture, beautiful kitchen. The garage door received, I believe it was 3% of the total traffic, and the other one was 97%. So something that would appear appeal to your target audience is what essentially you're looking for. And put yourself in their mindset. If you were browsing, what would attract your attention? Would a garage door with flowers? Probably not. Would an attractive kitchen that you think, wow, this is a beautiful place? A pool, a view, an overhead shot of the house, something like that, something impactful, okay? Something that's recognizable. Don't use a picture of a house in California for advertising a South Florida home, okay? Stock images usually are not very good. Try and use something from a listing you've done in the past, if you've had a nice listing. Images, going down. Facebook gives you a library of free stock images to use. I've never used one of those. You can browse through there and see if anything appeals to you. I've never used that. I would rather add my own. In this case, I'm going to add one. It opens up a page on your computer to pull up. I'm going to use this rent versus buy, which probably has way too much text. It's definitely going to. It does. It has way too much text. But it's a snippet. Percentage of income needed to afford a medium home. This is a horrible ad to use. It does not paint a picture of what I'm trying to do, and I would use a different image. Okay? I wanted to just slap that in there. Not a prayer. So let's try the free stock images. I've never used this before.
I had luck with that
You did?
this week.
I am trying to do buy versus rent. So let's do a moving picture.
Come close with us, Team Site. They got a lot of people.
There we go. This is nice.
Yeah. You guys can use any pictures from my website you want.
Wow.
You know?
Even Chad's picture.
Yeah, it won't get you any clicks, but you can.
No, we want clicks.
So I used a stock image. You can see down here, it has no yellow badge to it whatsoever, so it's passing Facebook's guidelines as far as the text go, but it doesn't have any text on it, so we kind of expected that. Decent picture, looks very commercial, not really personal. I'm not sure this one would perform very well, but I'm going to use that as a placeholder, okay? As we go down, we're in the text section. Enter the text for your ad. The page that we're connecting it to is going to appear in the top left corner. In my case, it's the K Company Realty. In your case, it would be your real estate Facebook page. Moving down, Facebook will also allow you to manage advertising through an Instagram page if you've connected your accounts. As you can see, it's offering that to me to post it across the K Company Realty page. I'm not going to do that in this case. I'm leaving it checked off, but I'm really not going to. I would personally advise you to go different. If you're going to advertise both on Instagram and Facebook, don't do them as part of one loop. Separate them out. Instagram places a higher priority on those that are uniquely done directly through their app, as opposed to those that cross between Facebook with an auto post to Instagram. Same thing with your organic posts. If you post on Facebook and auto share, you can't auto share the other way. If you post on Instagram and auto share to Facebook, it does not get viewed organically as much as a unique posting on Facebook. So if you're going to do both, post on Instagram, take that same information, post on Facebook, okay? A little off topic there. Headline that's going to appear at the forefront of your image, just below here, right here. So we're going to change that. Why rent when you can buy? It's going to auto update on the right side. There you go. Why rent when you can buy? Our direct marketing message. Why do we want to attract someone? If it's not the image, they may see that and think it applies to them. Text. These are the 2 lines below our title down here. Rental rates increase. No, let's forget that. We want to attract. What's going to attract somebody who's renting into buying?
Lower your monthly payment.
Lower your monthly payment.
Interest rates low.
Interest rates low. I'm going to say first-time buyers close
Free money.
for less than renting. It's going to auto-update on the right side. It's going to auto-update on the right side. Oh, on the top. My apologies. That's right. This is the text. It's the top. There's a separate one down here. So first-time buyers, close for less than renting. Okay. Free guide to money. Free guide on buying for less. Again, somebody who's renting and trying to buy to pinch every penny possible and get in and get some down payment assistance programs, some MCC, right, Jen? Mortgage credit certificate, help them buy. Okay? In this case, I hate how it formatted on the right side. You can see it looks pretty unprofessional on the top right corner here. So I'm going to just space out my free guide so it goes down to the next line.
Use periods.
Yes, ma'am. Ah, you're right, Dave. Facebook's smarter than me.
Questions for your text?
Yes, absolutely. It depends on what I'm putting across. So you said what I said right here. Why rent when you can buy?
It's gonna format differently on the
A little bit.
smartphone anyway.
A little bit. You're right.
Change it.
There we go. Here's an example. And you can test what it will look like on all of the others here as well. Mobile news feed. It still attracts attention with the periods in there. I kind of like that. Kind of like that. Featured ad on the phone. Again, I still kind of like that. Instagram feed. That's if I'm auto posting across. Again, it looks pretty good. So that works for us for our text. What is our call to action? That's this little button down here. Is it to sign up? No, that doesn't really apply. Apply now. Download. Get quote. Learn more. Learn more applies the best. Again, depending on what you're going across. If it's about an app, download. If it's about applying for assistance, apply now. Getting a quote on selling their home. Signing up for a newsletter. Subscribing to a page. News feed link description. The link description is what's down here. So we will say, click for more information on how to buy a home before you spend your life savings on renting someone else's home. Just throwing something in there. You can see it updating below my question. Click here for more information on how to buy a home before you spend your life renting someone else's home. Live the dream today. Got it. Moving down, this link. So you can see in the bottom left corner, it gave me facebook.com. What link do I actually want to pass them through? This is going to be the domain name or the URL for my landing page, where I want to send them. This is where they're going to go if they click on Learn More. This is where they're going to go if they click on the picture, on the description, on the link itself. So for example, I would use adrianacruzhomes.com/buy versus rent. Right, Adriana? That's an example. So you can see in the bottom left-hand corner, it included that domain name, which I didn't have to include the HTTP. And it appears nicely in the bottom left corner. Okay? Advanced options, URLs, URL parameters. You specify if you want to replace anything specifically. This would help me if I am trying to autofill or auto-register where someone comes from. I'm not going to use that tracking system. I'm going to use either the Facebook Pixel or my Google Analytics itself. Could be, but not necessarily. It depends on where you're going. So this would, some websites have incoming referrals, so you can specify a referral parameter that would apply to Facebook and include that referral parameter here, which essentially is telling your page that when it goes there to auto-register, it came from Facebook. It's for you and your knowledge, or for filling out the contact form itself. If you're unaware, skip it. Don't confuse yourself. Don't spend too much time on that. I'd rather you spend time putting in another ad that would work with a separate demographic. Okay? On the bottom here, we have pixel tracking. I know it's hard to read from back there. Pixel tracking down here. You can either track all conversions from an already done Facebook pixel, which is already tied to your website. If you're going to a new page, you're going to either not track or go through your pixel. If you want to track how many contact forms you actually got because you're going through different marketing channels to drive people to that landing page, you probably want to implement that. And it's a short code that you would copy and paste into your website code on the back end. If you're unaware how to do that, ask the person who hosts your website. Okay? If you're not tracking conversions, then if maybe Facebook is the only method that you're utilizing to drive traffic to that landing page, in which case you don't really need to go into that detail. How many contact forms you get is how many conversions you had. Okay? Pretty easy? So far? So far, so good? Okay? This is specifying, I don't want to add that. In addition to having people click through your site, you can include a lead form as part of your advertisement, like a contact form on Facebook itself. I would rather pull them to my website where all roads lead to me instead of having to ask them for the information here. I want them to go to a website that looks professional, captures their interest again, and requires them to fill out some information. So I wouldn't actually use this lead form. Uncheck. Okay, and the bottom right corner is to place the ad. We're done at that point.
Can we go back to the pixels real quick? How
Yes.
do we work that out? How do we get those pixels?
The pixel will come directly through Facebook. If I click track, it's going to pop up right here, my pixel ID. And then when I'm done with this, I'll be able to go into my ad manager and grab the actual pixel code itself.
Okay.
Okay? Other questions? Go ahead.
Set it up.
You do have to set it up. By clicking this, I already have a pixel, so it's taking me back there to grab the code. If you don't have a pixel set up, it will have you set it up and tell you where to put it on your website. Terry. One sec. Terry.
When you hit the ad, is that where it comes up with?
Payment information.
Okay, so that you haven't committed when you hit there.
Not necessarily. It depends. I've saved a credit card in there, so yes, it would commit me. If it's your first time, it wouldn't. It would pop up the payment page for you to add a payment method. Well, we already set that at the top. We already know it's going to cost us. I'm limited to $10 a day, $70 max. Alex, what was your question?
Is there any way to see a clean preview of the results of the whole thing?
Yeah, right here on the right side. The whole time that we're changing it, it's updating us. It's giving us the different specifications here, the drop down on what it would look like depending on where it appears. These are the options. It can appear on the desktop news feed, meaning on a computer, just in the general feed itself. This is what it'll look like. On a mobile news feed, so on someone's phone, in the general news feed as well, this is what it would look like. Feature phone, so a featured advertisement on the right side of the form, it's on a phone, on a mobile phone. That's what it would look like. And then on Instagram, because I still have it checked off at the top that it goes to the Instagram account, this is what it would look like on Instagram. Dave.
What obligations do we have to present our company or broker's name?
What are you doing? It depends what you're advertising.
Well, for instance, I send them to a evaluation page
Okay? It should be readily apparent on the landing page itself.
on that landing page.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be in the ad here. It does need to be readily apparent on that first click through. So, for example, it's going to be on your business page. So you're going to say Dave Thomas Realtor up there anyways.
Business page actually is more generic.
What's your business page?
Values of Broward.
Values of Broward. Okay.
Created one just
So
like
you're
that.
providing a service, but when you click through on that link, it directly and is very obvious to the common person, right, that you are a realtor in the company you work for.
Yeah, I want to take it out.
You have to have it. Sorry. It doesn't have to be on the advertisement itself. So the question was, where do we need to disclose that we're a realtor in the company, the broker that you work with? On the advertisement itself, it doesn't have to. It does need to readily apparent through one click. So by clicking on that ad, they're going to see obvious to the common individual that you are a realtor in the company that you work with on that page. Joseph.
Do we have any numbers, if I may ask, a company is how many leads have been actually converted into sales?
No, I don't have that.
I need to see how effective it
The
is.
question is, do we have any in the office, any statistics on number of leads, contacts, and conversions through Facebook advertising? I don't. I can tell you it depends on every single realtor independently. Just like when you buy leads from Realtor.com, one agent will close 60% of their leads, one agent will close 1% of their leads.
So you see quite a few realtors here that said, hey, I got my contract through Facebook, and you see quite a few.
I see lots of leads for various industries and various parts of the real estate industry itself coming through Facebook.
If you're wondering if it works, it works.
Definitely works.
So it's you have to work it, and also you have to continue to refine your skills in doing this.
You get better and better as time goes on.
Yeah. And also, the more thought out your follow-up process is, like Zillow, these people have a incubation period that they're gonna go through. If they click on your ad, it doesn't mean they're buying a home tomorrow. So what are you gonna, the differences between the percentages that Jonathan's alluding to between converting at a real high clip or a real low clip is gonna really depend on how thought out your process is, how thought out your follow-up process is, and how diligent you are. Because these people are gonna take a while, and how much information, and how much value can you provide to these people over that course of time to where when they actually are ready, they come back to you because you're the only name, the only person they think of. Because you have to be in front of them when they're needed, because you know how buyers are, they're hot and cold, right? They see a property they like, they're all of a sudden motivated, and then you don't talk to them for 3 months because they lose interest, or because they spent their down payment, and now they have to set it back up again. It has to be consistent, otherwise your percentages will be real low. But it might be okay if it's low. You might, hey, 3% conversion, you might say, I'm gonna spend $150 on 100 leads, and I'm gonna convert one of them. Would you spend $150 to convert one?
Absolutely.
You're gonna make a lot of calls.
So what Chad's saying is it's about contacts. What is this business based on? What's the one word you can tell me this business, this real estate industry, and your success as a realtor is based on? Boom, relationships. So it's about establishing contacts for relationships. All lead generation is paying your wingman to introduce you to somebody. That's exactly what it is. Okay? When you're going out and you're networking yourself, you are meeting people directly. If you're paying Realtor.com, you're paying them to be your wingman, to go out and meet 100 people and say, hey, who are you? Are you interested in buying a house? Oh, you are? Let me introduce you to my friend. That's what Realtor.com, that's what Zillow, that's what these people are doing. They're introducing you to create a relationship.
So I guess what you need to have is, you're gonna do this ads, you set a plan of how you're gonna nurture.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If you're going to do any type of advertising, just if you're paying lead generation, you still need that plan. Is your follow-up just a phone call? Is your follow-up a phone call, an email, a text message? Is it a drip campaign? Are you going to send them a RPR report on that property and then call them? Whatever your method is, it needs to be consistent and you need to be thorough with it. Someone especially browsing on their phone and submitting a contact form from Facebook is not going to be very inclined to pick up the phone. Okay, just like a lead that you get through your website. How difficult is it to get a hold of some of these people? It's very difficult. It takes a thorough follow-up process. It's just like this. And I guarantee you the people that click Facebook are more inclined to respond to a Facebook message, a text message, an email, a WhatsApp chat, anything over a phone call. That's just the nature of the world that we live in today. How easy is it to ignore a phone call when it comes through your phone? I don't know that number, ignore. Okay, versus a text message. They have to read the text message. There's a 1 above that little text message icon. It's driving me crazy. I had one pop up last week and I couldn't find the new message. I spent 40 minutes scouring my old messages through my phone, and an old one had popped up from like 2015 that was way down my phone. I guess my iCloud resynced and whatever. There was one message I never read. But I still went back and I read it, even if it was a year later. Still went back and read it. It was over a year, actually.
I downloaded the Pages app. And
Great.
I found it so much
So
better
nice.
to try and get a hold of people.
So nice. That's a great point. There's an app for Facebook instead of just the Facebook app. It's called Pages. It's managing your Facebook business pages. It allows you to post, interact, respond, forward, share. So nice. So much easier than using the Facebook app for it.
Have you ever used the lead capture for Facebook?
I have not personally. I always send them to somewhere else. I primarily use Facebook for lead generation as far as agents go, for recruiting for us. I don't really use it much for generating buyer leads. I have in the past, not recently. Has anyone used the lead contact form?
Go up into Facebook periodically.
Or you could tie it into your CRM and have it auto forward in,
You can't.
like a top
No,
producer
If your CRM.
allows it.
Yeah, right, if it's approved, like if it's a top producer or something like that. I don't think paperless pipeline is.
Paperless Pipeline's not a CRM.
Okay, but I don't think they're CRM. I use Realty Juggler. But you need to go up every 2 or 3 hours to see if, you can see if there's leads. If there are, then you can go in the CSV file and download.
I think it's complicating things. I'd rather take them off of that and taking my website to a lead capture.
Good point. Somebody already has their information in Facebook. If it's just a one click that they have to do to get that information, they're more likely to do it.
I would agree with you.
Go to your page.
Does the lead capture, the lead page on Facebook allow you to do that? I think it's a form that gets filled out. So I had to manually create one. Okay.
Does that Pages app go to Facebook, or do you have that separately?
Pages app goes through Facebook. It's a separate app on your phone. However, you log in just like you would normal Facebook, and it allows you to manage your business pages from there. Yeah, absolutely. It's a really, really nice app. I use it as well. Okay, I did have a question on how to boost the exposure of a listing on Facebook. I think that's a pretty easy question for us to answer. Before I go there, are there any other questions about this page itself? Creating the ad. I'm not going to place the order for the ad because I don't want to post it. Okay, so let's go back to Facebook itself. Leave. In order for me to do that, I will go to my business page. Magic the Gathering. All right, I will go to my business page itself, and I'm going to create a post just like any other post. Scroll down, create a post. First off, when you are posting on your business page, do not post as yourself as an individual. Post as the company itself or the business. It's my personal opinion. Did you write something? New listing. Anybody have a new listing? New listing? No? Bueller? No? Okay. So when you are posting a listing, I advise you to find the listing on your website and use the unique link. Use the unique link from your website to post that on Facebook. Why would I do that? Oh, we have a new listing. We have a new listing. 1721 North 16th Court in Hollywood. Thank you, Tony. So I'm going to go look on here. 17, this is on the company website itself. North 16th Court. I'll just search that, see what comes up. Tony, if you're listening, give us the MLS number so we can be sure we get the right house. Okay, 1721. None. Whatever, I'll pick one. For example, 35, it's pending. We don't want to post that one. Pick a listing. Number one, it cannot be another broker's listing unless you have explicit written permission. Period. There we go. Being on grievance committee in Fort Lauderdale, there's way too many of those that come through. Don't be that person. If either advertise your own listing, you can pull any K company listing, you have from us to advertise, or get explicit written permission from another broker in order to advertise that.
And new construction, you can do advertise.
Get their permission. Regardless, get their permission.
We can advertise someone else's listing within the K company on Facebook, the other
Yes.
without their permission?
Yes, you have their permission.
It's not the realtors.
It's the broker's listing, not the realtor. You have the broker's permission.
Are you not allowed to put the address or the price, one or the other? Is that?
If you leave the address out, you can't use their image from the MLS either, because that belongs to the realtor and the broker themselves. So if you're going to do that, what's the point? Because you want an image, right? Or you could go to a listing, go to a new development, take your own pictures. Use that. Use something general. If you're going to go advertise Orchid Grove on Cypress, go over to Orchid Grove, take some pictures of the model, take some pictures of the community, and post your own information. Obviously, don't list the name of the community. Otherwise, you're advertising for them and they're going to go there. Great. You sold a place, but you didn't get anything for it.
So just to clarify, we can use the other realtor's pictures and
From K Company listings, yes. You can use their pictures, you can use their listings, okay? You have our permission, okay? If someone has an issue with it, they can let us know and we will pass that on and ask you to kindly remove that one. But going onto social media, going onto Craigslist does not inhibit the listing agent's ability to sell and market the home as available to them. If you go out and you try and submit a unique listing on Zillow of a listing of the K Company, yeah, I'm gonna call you and tell you to take it off, okay? Because you are interfering with the listing agent's automatic ability to try and gain the buyer lead for that home. We have our syndication agreement set up with Zillow to do that since they cut off from ListHub. So when you put in the MLS, it's going out to all those sites. 442 sites currently, okay? So I've pulled up a listing on our website. The top here is a unique URL. You can see it has the listing number in it, the actual property address. That's the link I want to copy if I'm trying to advertise this listing itself. So I will go off. New listing, Hollywood, Florida. And then I'm going to post that URL right there. Now watch what Facebook does. Grabs that listing from our website with a direct link to that page, okay? I don't like the image, so I can change the image. Down here, I can add another one. Let me grab the image here. We'll use this one. Going back to Facebook. Right here, add image, grab the one that we pulled, and now I can delete the first one. There's the X. I don't see it. It's supposed to be, right? Oh, uncheck it, check that one. So now it has that image directly. If you want to add multiple images that they can click through, the more I add, the more they can click through on the right corner, okay? No, it cannot only be done on a business page. You can also do it on your personal. I would post it on both of them, for example, okay? On the right side, I don't really like what it says, Properties, the K Company Realty in this description. So I'll change that to the actual address itself, 1721 North 16th Court, Hollywood. And the description, if you feel so inclined, you can grab all of this, copy, bring it over here, change that, post. Okay, you see it has a certain number of characters limited. So I'll take that back and call to see today. Okay, a little bit of a call of action to that. And the bottom, we now have boost, post, or publish. If we publish, it's organically being posted on our page. If we boost it, we are obviously spending money and we're boosting it. Okay, that is how you boost a listing when you're posting it.
There was an article in Inman yesterday that they had all the top realtors from all over the country stating what their findings of Facebook advertising was, and they said that their most, all the way to advertising on Facebook, they said their most success was by boosting, and that was the way
Really?
to make the money.
I found the opposite. I haven't had much success in boosting. I've seen a lot more likes, a lot more views, a lot more comments, but not the actual pass-through to where I want them to go to. I've seen that more from advertising.
So when I boosted my posts the other day, I got 9 leads, and 3 of them I'm working with right now.
Excellent. Try the same ad as an advertisement and see what your results are.
I believe you can target when you boost guys, because I've done it.
Let's see. Let's see. Let's go down here. We're going to hit boost. Yes, it does give you the same audiences. It is a much more simplified method. You're correct. So when you post an advertisement or post anything on your page, hit boost, and you can bring up, it's already pulling up my saved audiences that I've used in other places. Or you can choose through the targeting or people who like your page. Yeah, you're right. Joseph.
For the subject line there, you put the address.
I did, yeah. You can use whatever you want.
Can we as realtors for other listings say, hey, lowest priced home in subdivision?
Yeah.
Or something like that?
Yeah,
Or owner motivated to sell?
that's fine.
Can we say that?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
Wouldn't that be a little better, put that in there to get for the,
I was just showing the example on how to boost a post.
where did you get the link, I'm sorry?
I grabbed it from our IDX search on our website.
To like your website?
Yeah, I mean, for you, you would use your website, pull up a listing, grab the URL from the top and move on.
And what you just said is actually really, is actually called split testing. So you could run the same listing as 4 or 5 different ads with different headlines and
See which one's more successful.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that I'm not infringing or anything, broker rules like
No, not at all. You don't have to use the address. Be creative. I mean, obviously anything within the realm of the law, but be creative and test. Always be developing your marketing method. So if you do something it doesn't work, don't just abandon it. Change it. See how it changes. If it's not successful, you're not spending money on it.
I was referring to things like saying owner motivated. Maybe the listing agent doesn't want that information out there.
Obviously, if it doesn't say it in the MLS, you're not going to say owner motivated because you don't know the owner. If it says it in there, owner motivated, owner interested in offers, all offers considered, things along those lines, you can use them. Don't just make it up.
No. Let's say you talked to the owner, you showed it once, you showed the property already. The listing agent didn't have.
Then use it. In that case, you could use it because you do have a general idea that the seller is motivated and interested in taking offers.
So in this case, the one you showed with Boosted, you can do, obviously, you can do on your business, but you also can do on your personal.
I would do both. I would do both.
Because you actually, for people that you already know.
Correct. I would do both. Posting anything business related on your personal page is just hitting your sphere of influence. It's hitting the people you already know, you already have a relationship with. Why would you not want to do that?
How does Facebook see that professionally?
How does Facebook see that?
Do they allow you to do it?
Do what?
Post professional links on your personal.
Do they allow you to post your professional links on your personal page? Yes. Absolutely.
Simply share what you posted on your business page to your personal.
That is the way I would do it. If you're posting on your business page, in order to put it on your personal, I would share that on your own page, on your personal page. Instead of reposting the unique stuff, grab that, hit share, post on my timeline, or publish now. That automatically posts it and you can skip the rest of the steps. Okay? Any question? You set your budget. You set your budget again. A ballpark anywhere from $0 to $1 million. Whatever you designate. 2 million? Dave.
How much of what special programs that Chad offers are we allowed to post?
Every single one of them. How many programs of Chad, the Close With Us team, can we post on our Facebook? I bet Chad would tell us every single one of them.
No, I don't mean that about Chad. I mean truth in lending.
No, I mean, obviously you're not going to post about interest rates. You're not going to quote an interest rate. You're not going to quote a certain amount down.
You can post on you could say down payment assistance available in Monroe County, and you can put like, it's public information, so I can even give you some little bullets to put in there, like, as far as talking
Do we
points.
have to source it?
You could, no. You could talk about, say, or buy more and save $2,000 a year on your taxes. And not really be specific on that. When they go to the landing page, a magnet. It's a little taste. It's you're planting pieces of candy on the ground so they follow you to your website. You know. Any other? Michelle, you had a question.
Not off this topic, but the other day I asked you, and this is the class that I wanted to ask you in, if you're more of a buyer's agent and not a listing agent, and you sell a property, what kind of marketing tools can we use to say that we sold in that area? Can we use that property? What are our guidelines to?
Okay,
kind of
so the question is if you want to utilize or farm a certain area of a listing that you had sold, or just a listing that was sold.
Yeah, I sold a place in Weston, and I wanted to kind of target the area,
Mm-hmm.
or say that I sold this home, even though it's on my listing.
Were you on the buyer side of that deal?
I was on the buyer side.
Okay, that's fine. So how can I market a listing that I sold in a certain neighborhood? In this case, it's Weston. So I sold a home in Weston in whatever subdivision. How can I utilize that to try and farm the neighborhood? Good question, okay? I don't know. No, I'm kidding. Because you were a party in that transaction, you were working with a broker in that transaction, you can say that I sold this listing. Okay? Doesn't matter if you're on the listing or the buyer's side. If you didn't sell that listing, you would have to either remove the address, like the house number, for example. You could say North 56th Street, sold, and then cite in the bottom right corner, courtesy of public record or courtesy of multiple listing service, information courtesy of multiple listing service, some type of disclosure of where that information came from. Remember, anything that's sold is public knowledge, it's public records. So you can utilize that in your marketing as long as you don't say, I sold this listing and you weren't a party to the transaction. That's deceptive marketing.
When you're doing the boost, and you can actually target the geographic area, there's a little
And you can do a radius from that. Absolutely.
So she could do that on that website.
Absolutely. She would target the audience in that general area. When you're trying to farm a neighborhood, that's where you want to put it to. So if you are putting about that listing, you will drag, you can even create your own polygon inside that map too. You don't have to drop and do a radius. You can draw a square. You can do an odd shape around whatever community you already know about and really, really zone in on that target. Absolutely. Adriana, again.
I learned that because I had a listing and the seller was on me, oh, where's my ad, Zoom. And then I targeted a few things, like, I know he's on Facebook, you will see somehow. And some neighbor saw it, and then he was like, oh, okay, she's spending money on this kind of like.
And Facebook is so cheap, you could spend $5 a day on marketing a listing. You could farm and go $3 a day. It doesn't matter. I mean, any effort you put in is going to be more than what you're already doing now. So start somewhere. If you don't know and you don't want to spend any money on it, and you're unsure, do $1 a day a budget and just start playing around with it. Get yourself comfortable. Experiment a little bit. Make some changes that you can see how many times it's appearing, what's getting more interaction, what's clicking through more. Just start testing and continue to evolve your marketing method. Come up with different ideas. The magnet of the home buyer guide is phenomenal. The home valuation, we've all seen that. Rent versus buy, I love, and I don't think enough people use that. I don't think that there's enough out there educating renters that they could be buying homes. Anybody paying over $1,500 a month in rent should be buying a house. Right? 18, 1750?
Any number you want to put in that?
I like 1,500. I think 1,500 is a nice blend. I mean, the average home sale in Broward County this past year was $225,000. So at $225,000 on an FHA loan, you're looking at like a $1,700, $1,800 mortgage payment, approximately. So somebody paying $1,500 could pay a couple $100 more possibly a month and put it towards their future and the wealth of their family. I really feel strongly in that. If it's over $1,500, you should be pitching them on buying instead of renting. And that is why I recommend everybody does rentals regardless. It's a pipeline.
Something to share regarding that, and it was going to be something I was going to cover today.
Well, you can come on up.
It's going to take 5 minutes because we didn't bring lunch, and it's not a lunch and learn. So it's 11:30. So
You can come on up.
Keep you guys